All right, now I think we're good. It is nice to just go out in the woods and sit down by yourself, maybe with a dog, and just, I don't know, immerse yourself in the radiance of the woods. You know, cicadas or cicadas, however you say it. I say cicada, you say cicada. I think it makes sense that this is our primary natural habitat. I'm wondering if that camera is too far away. So yeah, the extremes of two worlds, and here I'm trying to immerse myself in the woods, and then at the same time I'm worried about my camera. But, oh, it's not a big deal. I'll take note of how this video turns out, and if you can't hear me or if it's too low, I'll just fix it. But yeah, so talking about nature and the true essence of nature, and how man, or humanity, is the ultimate reason for the existence of nature. The earth wouldn't exist if it wasn't for humans. And I know that goes into like a more spiritual aspect of things, but I believe in God, so there is that to it. I'm trying not to make everything too, I don't want to be too overt, I guess, in that topic, but I am going to be talking about some spirituality stuff and some different religious concepts. Now, it pertains to Abdul Baha, which you probably haven't heard of. But, it's some really good stuff, and this is the book. It's some answered questions. Go ahead and read the first one. Maybe someday I'll read the introduction to give some additional information about the Baha'i faith, but it's pretty long, and I want to kind of just get started with the different topics covered. I'm being stabbed by birds here. You might be able to hear some gunshots off in the distance. It's pretty normal out here. Hopefully they're just not shooting towards me, and they're practicing proper safety procedures, which I assume they are. At least for my benefit, right? Only really concerned when I just hear one shot. One shot usually means something. All right, so here we go. Nature. Nature is governed by one universal law. Nature is that condition, that reality, which is appearance consists, which in, I'm going to start over here, cut that out. Nature is that condition, that reality, which in appearance consists in life and death, or in other words, in the composition and decomposition of all things. This nature is subjected to an absolute organization, to determined laws, to a complete order and a finished design, from which it will never depart. To such a degree, indeed, that if you look carefully and with keen sight, from the smallest invisible atom up to such large bodies of the world of existence as the globe of the sun, or the other great stars and luminous spheres, whether you regard their arrangement, their composition, their form, or their movement, you will find that all are in the highest degree of organization and are under one law from which they will never depart. so that, I think that's just kind of summarizing the whole concept of what is going to be said, is about how, if you think about it, nature is governed by certain laws, whether it be physics, decay, etc. But when you look at nature itself, you see that it has no intelligence, no will. For instance, the nature of fire is to burn. It burns without will or intelligence. The nature of water is fluidity. It flows without will or intelligence. The nature of the sun is radiance. It shines without will or intelligence. The nature of vapor is to ascend. It ascends without will or intelligence. Thus, it is clear that the natural movements of all things are compelled. There are no voluntary movements except those of animals, and above all, those of man. Man is able to resist and to oppose nature because he discovers the constitution of things, and through this he commands the forces of nature. All the inventions he has made are due to his discovery of the constitution of things. For example, he invented the telegraph, which is the means of communication between the East and the West. Hence, it is evident then that man rules over nature. This was written quite a while ago, I think about 100 years ago now, so hence the concept of the telegraph as opposed to cell phones, right? But it all has to start somewhere. Now, when you behold in existence such organizations, arrangements, and laws, can you say that all of these are the effect of nature, though nature has neither intelligence nor perception? If not, it becomes evident that this nature, which has neither perception nor intelligence, is in the grasp of Almighty God, who is the ruler of the world of nature. Whatever he wishes, he causes nature to manifest. One of the things which has appeared in the world of existence, and which is one of the requirements of nature, is human life. Considered from this point of view, man is the branch, nature is the root. Then can the will and the intelligence and the perfections which exist in the branch be absent in the root? It is said that nature in its own essence is in the grasp of the power of God, who is the eternal Almighty One. He holds nature within accurate regulations and laws and rules over it. So there's a lot in there. That's kind of why I just gave my opinion a little bit on each section as I was going over it. But maybe moving forward, I'll just read the whole thing and then talk about it. But if you read the whole thing and then you talk about it, that's a lot to process all at once. But even that's, there's quite a bit there. And I guess like the gist of it would be that, of course there are certain physical laws in terms of science and, I said before, physics and the reality of things. But nature itself it's governed by certain laws, but it itself is not alive. There are living things, but only animals and humans can actually imprint their will on nature. So it's a pretty interesting concept. And I think that's one reason why it's comforting to be in nature. Be away from cities and be away from the rat race, if you will. Because this is your natural element, but at the same time, it's also your natural element to bend and control nature to your will. That's how societies and cities and kingdoms are built, through man's determination to conform nature to his own design. And obviously no other creature can do that. Well, I guess you can talk about beavers making dams and stuff like that, but you know what I mean.